Hello folks and welcome to Erannorth Renaissance. In this video we'll be making a direct comparison between the current game build 1.1 and the demo build 1.0, and I run them in parallel right now, which is a very bad idea since both of them save in the same location and it might create problems with cloud syncing. So don't do that, but this is the only way that we can see going back and forth things that have changed and how they have changed during these 2 months of development, which for you might not have been much of a time, but for me seemed like an eternity of work. So let's get to it. Starting with the settings, these are the settings in the demo right here, and going to the settings in our live game version, you will notice that there is this automatic end turn checkbox, which in combat, if the character has no playable actions left, their turn will end automatically. That was the default behavior. It works much better in the live in the main game build, but you can now check this off. Tradable actions, so whether combat skills can be freely traded between your characters and your stats. The default is off, but you can turn it on, and now you can give actions from one character to another. Like for example, you found infection in a gaul and your main character looted it, but they don't have rituals. You can give it to someone else. And carrying capacity will enforce a very reasonable carry limit to protect you from performance issues if your inventory goes way too massive, but you can still, uncheck it and manage your inventory in any way you see fit. Now, along with this carrying capacity limit, there are also massive improvements in your stash, which we'll be getting into. Codecs, not much have changed here. There are a few more icons, but there are a lot more passives and effects and new things that weren't available in the demo, like for example trick flourish. When you apply distract, you gain defense. At the end of your turn, if you are stunned, dispel stunned, and all sort of crazy passives that your characters can get and affect each of their actions in a different way. Codex here just had a few less categories, but you could still, for example, these are the passives in the demo. So you can see there are a lot of things under the hood that I can't exactly show you. What else we have here that might be interesting? Let's go and check the perks. Perks editor, you will see that we have 575 perks in the demo. And if we go here, we also have this mod that adds like 10 perks or so. So let's say that there are about 800 perks in the live game version 1.1. So a lot more perks to make the builds exactly as you like them. Okay, so let's create a sandbox game now. Let's play with Eric. I will just change his portrait. He's the old and wise Eric of the new version. And we'll start in sandbox. We'll do quick start and explore right away. And let's do the same here. He is the young Eric of the demo version, still has a lot of things to learn. So let's start the game with him too. Okay, so you will notice that here we have some less buttons than what we have with our older Eric. For example, you can access your stats directly here, and you can just dump everything your characters carry to the stats if you want. And we have a button that takes us to perks directly. Perks format has changed. For example, if we go to occult, let's uncheck this. If we go to occult, you will see that there are many new perk trees. For example, there is a fire tree, and there is a ice tree, and there is a lightning tree, and there is the dark trees, and so on and so forth. And there are so much more options for builds to pursue in this 1.1 version of the game. And in Druidism you get earth, you get wind, you get water, and so on. Okay, so the perks have changed a lot. Let's compare them to this version here as well, which, for example, if I go to occult, we have these perks right here. Compare them to these perks right here. And too many options, too many new options. Let's now see some more practical things about changes, and we'll stay for a bit here. Let's say that, for example, I will make Will into a smith and a cook, and the reason for that is to show you some things regarding the recipes. Not that I would build Will as a cooking smith, or maybe I would, I don't know. And let's say that we give Joran rituals. So let's go to Joran and give him the ritualist initiation, which teaches him the skeletal scout, and compare the presentation here of the skeletal scout. It's a summon level 2, max level is 4, can be upgraded via crafting to skeletal warrior or bone archer. With here in the newer Eric, and let's give here the rituals 3, and also rituals initiation. No more information, not many information here, and not an upgrade option, but that's not just it. We don't have a way to see anything about this skeleton here, but if we go to the new build and check out this skeletal scout, you will see that you can check out his character sheet. You can't give him perks or stats or anything of sorts, but you can see exactly what he has, what skills he has, how his modifiers affect these skills, all these things dynamically as he gains levels, and he will gain up to 4, he will become up to 4 level as Joran becomes 4 level. And another important thing is that I don't remember if that was the case in demo, but back then, if for example Eric had a skeletal minion in play, then if someone else were to summon a skeletal minion, Eric's skeletal minion would go away. Now each character can have one named summon, their own named summon. So each member of your party could potentially have one of its skeletons out. That's another difference here. Okay, so you will also notice that these actually have tooltips now, and you know what they do. Okay, so let's check these buttons here. We have our local contracts, we have locate person, we have a shortcut which takes about 30 minutes and has no cooldown compared to this one, which takes about 2 hours and has a cooldown of once per turn. So for example, if I were to use it to go to land 14, I can't use it again. And if I travel in the demo, we are on 8th hour, it will pass 2 hours traveling in town, which some of you found unreasonable, so that changed. And traveling into town from 6 to 7th 15, that's because we are on heavy rain. The weather affects the travel time. Normally it's half an hour, and your shortcut doesn't have a cooldown, which means that I could go to the inn, I could rest here, and then I could just go back to the market, and then I could go to the arena or whatever, and you get the point. You can fast travel, blink from town place to town place. Another difference is that let's ignore this for now. Another difference is that you can view the character sheet of the population in case you want to decide if you are interested in recruiting them in the future. You can see their stats now, something that you can't do here with the younger Eric. When talking to NPC and skip the event and go directly to the options, you will see that the options here aren't organized, and there is a limitation in how many options we have due to the dialogue system engine, and we can have up to 10 options here. So in the demo we couldn't have as many interactions as we like due to this limitation. Let's pick his pocket. But here with the old Eric, things have matured, and let's say we talk to her. You will see that they are categorized, so there is introduction, and then after you introduce yourself, you can socialize, and the illicit affairs are indifferent. There is the recruitment menu, local information, so categorized, and each category can have a lot more options, increasing the amount of interactions we can have by a lot. Okay, what else we have here? So shortcut has no cooldown. There is also the diplomatic exchange, which you can use directly in town. You couldn't use this directly in town before. You had to be outside of the town. And also you couldn't fight inside of town, and now you can. Trading will give you more interesting things. Can we buy this? My stash has 36 gold, so we can trade directly with my stash. Trade. And if I wanted to give this to Eric, I could just gather all the cash that I have, including my stuff, here, or to any character that is trading. I can just move the cash to them so I can trade faster. Now let's go to the merchants, for example, and check Garrett. Let's say that I want to find blunt weapons that require rank 2. Okay, so I can type here blunts is on 2, equals 2, sorry. So now I'm finding the blunt equipment that costs 2, and their price is less than 300, there aren't any. Less than 400, I found this. This I can't do in the demo. Sorry, I need to alt tab. Let's go trade with Garrett again. And I can type blunts, for example. No, I can't even type blunts to see just the blunt weapons. So this search box has gotten tremendous improvements under the hood. Okay, let's go back to the old Eric. Where is he? Here. Okay, so let's go to our characters here. We made Will our smith, so let's give him Call of the Forge, and let's give him Sparks of the Forge, and let's give him Apprentice of the Oven. Not enough perk points, it's okay. And now we go to our recipes. You will see that they are more neatly organized, and in comparison to, let's go here and make our Will Smith cook. See how the recipes are less easy to find. You have to filter them here. If you know too many, it will be a little pain. Here you can filter them. You have these filters up here to separate them, and most importantly, everything, including ingredients and tools, are shared and can even be in your stash. They should be in your stash. You don't need to carry these things around. Okay, so next. We have the cooldown here of 1 for our diplomatic exchange. We have the locate person, which you can use to quickly find other people. So let's head outside of the town now to see what else we have. Now notice that failing will give you experience even if you fail. In discoveries, that wasn't the case in previous versions like the demo. Failing was empty-handed, so not very nice. Okay, so we have diplomatic exchange outside the map. We also have our engage action, fight a neutral hostile band, so you can initiate combat even if skirmish, the better way of initiating the encounter, is on cooldown. So what skirmish do? It can wear down the hostile band. Let's grab this. But let's see, where is... no, we found a hostile. Okay, so let's use skirmish. Now, skirmish is good because we can wear down the band. Look, we did damage to them. Enemy is wounded because we succeeded on subterfuge. And now we could attack them if we want, but I don't want to attack them. So let's go here and go back to our old Eric character. Nice. Let's give it to him. So here we have the diplomatic exchange which has a cooldown of 4 instead of 1. We can only use it outside of the world map, not inside. And we don't have an attack action, so if skirmish is in cooldown for 8 turns, then this could mean that we wouldn't be able to attack someone ourselves, and we had to wait for them to initiate it. Not very cool. Okay, let's go to camp. So in the demo, the only way you could access your stats was through the camp, and you would go here and put the stuff in your stats, and then you had to be back in the camp to retrieve them, and stuff in your stats you couldn't sell directly. They weren't participating in recipes as ingredients and all that, so not a very good stats to have in compared to what we have now. So let's assign Will the cooking duty. We'll see that he will succeed. And wait a moment. And let's give Darcy the gather herbs duty. And let's give Elizabeth the capture thralls duty. And now I can go and process these duties. They all succeed. So each of them gets what they got. Will found some honey, Darcy found 4-leaf clover, and Elizabeth got some thralls. And all these are in their individual inventories. But we are in the demo. Yes, let's go to the old Eric and okay, I want to just I don't want to fight, so I will just go here and load my quick save. No, not the quick save I want. That's the quick save I want. Okay, so let's camp and do the same here. I will go to my characters, and Will has smithing and cooking. Let's give Joran alchemy. For the sake of this demonstration, let's give Vargas herbalism. We don't have any vampires in our party, so notice that we have a lot more options in the camp. We can socialize, we can challenge and train him, we can dismiss him, but let's go to duties. You will notice that there is a duty profile for the character which tells us which duty they excel on. So he's a good so he's better in the camp duty, for example. But we can also assign research duties if the characters have certain ranks. For example, he can research herbalism. Let's go to Will. He can research or no. Will is also a smith and a cook, so let's put him on cooking duty. And Zoran has alchemy, I think, so he can also research alchemy. Okay, so now let's process the duties. We learn a new recipe, elf salad's bow, thanks to Vargas, who was researching herbalism and had a breakthrough. And Will got us 3 troll ham hocks, which went to the stash. Everything that your companion loots will go to the stash. And we got another recipe in the alchemy thanks to Joran research. And our guard failed to keep watch because we didn't put any guard watch. So here is a hostile for us thanks to our not putting a watch. And since our skirmish is still on cooldown, we can still attack them with our engage action. Okay, we can't harvest. Let's avoid him so I can show you what the harvest do. So harvest is a new action, and assuming you want to find specific materials, you can. For example, if you want wood, you need only to go to a forest, and there it is. You can harvest wood, or you can harvest caterpillars. And the skill you see here is a bonus. I don't have alchemy. Eric doesn't have alchemy, but my companion has. So this is why I have this 8% bonus, because my companions help me in that. So if I say harvest, I will grab 4 caterpillars. The success rate is 70%. I got them. They went into my stash. And I can just leave them there because if I want to use them, I can use them directly from there. Now let's say now that we got some junk. We got 1 backpack. And it also went directly to your stash. Okay. Okay, so let's say I'm harvesting again. I can't because there is a hostile here. But let's say I could, and I was in a different biome. Like here I'm on plains. The options are different. Here, for example, I can harvest tomato, and I have a bonus in cooking because one of my characters has cooking. And if I was to gather wheat, for example, my survival, and no one of my party has survival, I don't have a sickle, success rate is 37%. But if I were to, for example, have a character with survival and try again, now I have a bonus and the chance have gone up to 55%. Okay, and the number you see here is the stacks that you will gather. You can hover over and see if what you are trying to harvest is something rare in this particular area or not. And the more your character gains level, the more options will appear here, more rare ingredients that you can harvest. Okay, I think there are way too many changes to cover in a single video, but there is one more I want to talk to you about, and that's contracts. So let's check the local contracts here. You will see that there is this filters, and you can now see if a contract is bounty. There is these skulls that they will tell you if this is a harder bounty than you can pull off. The same for silence contracts. Still and silence contracts weren't available in the demo version. They weren't implemented back at 1.0. So if I go, for example, with new Eric here and do some contracts, this will always be 0 because the generator couldn't create them at that point in time. And also you will notice that well, we don't have bounties, but even if we did, they wouldn't have this skull here. Also, let's go to this one. You will see the contractor and the adversary, which is the NPCs that you will affect. And if old Eric goes to this tile and checks for contracts, he will find different contracts. And you will notice that supply will now tell you, for example, how many of these you have. But if we go to the new Eric, he won't. Also, if we change style with the old Eric right here, the contracts are identical. So less contracts in the demo than in the live build that you can undertake, more information that you can know about them. Okay, so finally, let's go here. Skirmish them, there is no option to attack in the demo. Okay, they escaped. So in order to attack them, they do have to attack me, which is not very, it wasn't very nice. Now I'm not playing the combat, I want to show you the output here, like loses 3 life and so on. Where am I? And let's go and compare it to the output here. So for example, I will do a diplomatic exchange with her. Coerce her, I will fail, which will initiate combat. And now notice how the output is much better. Okay, not with the move part, but where am I? Let's go here. There is a notification that the system is ending this turn, whereas if I had this setting off, I would normally apply, but for the sake of this demonstration I don't need to. You will also see that the damage you dealt was physical, and it will tell you that Vargas is out of actions and you can end your turn if you want, whereas if this was setting, Vargas will automatically end his turn. And I think that's enough about this video. I'm probably forgetting a lot of stuff. There is literally hundreds of lines of changes between these 117 builds that between this version and the demo version. But I think I showed you some. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you spotted some of the differences, and that's it for now. Have a good time, folks. Bye bye.